Hey, let's have a look at something I put on Twitter today. One of potentially the scariest photos you've ever seen in your life.
Is that what the Crypt Keeper is up to these days?
Well, I put my Twitter feed was something like, "What's that saying about a picture and 1,000 words?" Yeah, so I think this is a really interesting story, and I think there are a whole bunch of old men shouts at clouds about this. But in saying that, I think that my understanding is they signed up to this, they being the group running the Sail GP. Sail GP signed up knowing that there was this condition. Yes. And because they signed up to it, knowing that there was this condition, to be bleating and moaning and whinging about it now seems a bit far-fetched. I get the frustration. Completely with you, get it, understand it, but these are the conditions you've signed up to. If you wanted it not to be like an issue ever, for not to have these Hectors Dolphins get in your way, then you shouldn't have had it there. You should have had
don't have it where the Dolphins are.
Exactly. So this was a condition that they signed up to, and when that condition had to get called upon, fucking Russell Coutts bleating and moaning and whinging about it, saying that Sail GP is never going to come back to New Zealand. It's like, good luck, son. On you go.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at the story, shall we? Let's have a look together. And this is all about these evil dolphins who held a protest and they got in the way to cancel Sail GP.
Stark difference to yesterday when Dolphins forced organisers to cancel and refund thousands of tickets. The Sail GP chief executive inconsolable this morning.
Sail GP have had this extreme marine mammal mandatory protocol forced upon it.
Russell Coutts refusing to talk to most media, but using a radio interview to call out individuals by name.
Dolphins are...
I mean, what a dick.
That's a dick move.
What a dick, right? Dick move. Calling out people by name for standing to the agreement that they penned at the start. What a dick. Yeah. Honestly.
Extremely intelligent mammals and are inherently aware of boats around them. The Hectors dolphin is not an endangered species, as Otago University professor Liz Sluton recently claimed. That
very, very, very good line coming up here from the professor. He just said that he's basically saying dolphins are clever, they'll get out of the way. That's what he was saying, right, as a part of it. But the professor has a great comeback.
It was a lie.
The IUCN is the international organisation that lists endangered species, and Hectors dolphin is definitely on that list.
She says the speed of the boat is the problem.
It would be a bit like saying that children are inherently aware of cars and trucks and therefore there will never be an accident. The child will just naturally get out of the way. It doesn't work like that.
But if it was to be the last, the punters were making sure to enjoy it. The hill's busy for a second day.
The atmosphere is even better than it would have been because of yesterday.
Even if some...
That means Hectors Dolphin did them a good job. If it's better today than it would have been.
Even turning up, really, because it'll probably happen again.
We're looking for dolphin sushi, so...
Could yesterday end up being the nail in the coffin?
I certainly hope not. People could see it as being that, but I certainly hope not.
And as the New Zealand team took the lead, everyone painfully aware that the winds were turning.
I think they should sell some heart pills around here.
Today, a win for New Zealand, but perhaps for the last time here.
I mean, whatever. A win for them, maybe the last time here. These are the kinds of things that cities will have. I'm surprised it went to Christchurch, actually, because normally cities gag at getting these sorts of things because that makes them a lot of money. So unless, okay, here's the real pessimist, unless what he's saying is they've already signed up someone else to be the next host and they're trying to get out of the contract. I don't know. You still with us, Paul? You're sitting very still. No, Paul's gone. That's why. I was thinking Paul was looking very, very still there for a second. So anyway, it's just if you agree to conditions of a contract and then those conditions have to be fulfilled, you don't bleat and moan and bitch about it. That may well put you in breach of contract. I don't know. There were some interesting things said in the wrap-up afterwards with the reporter. Let's just have a quick listen to that. We'll see if we get Paul back. It's what the reporter said afterwards.
It's not just future races in Christchurch in jeopardy. What more can you tell us?
Well, in that same interview, Sir Russell Coutts implied that the sailing might not only never be back to Christchurch, but that it may never come back to New Zealand at all, unleashing quite the tirade, really lambasting everyone from the harbour master by name to the Department of Conservation and the local hapu Ngāti Wheki. We reached out to each of those parties to give them a fair chance to respond. The harbour master told us that it's his role to make sure that everyone in the harbour is safe, not just the Sail GP yachts. Whereas Doc told us that Sail GP was fully aware that it was organising an event in what is a marine mammal sanctuary. The local hapu Ngāti Wheki saying that marine mammal plan actually helps Sail GP to avoid breaking the law, because there is a law in New Zealand, the Marine Mammals Protection Act, which makes it an offence to harass, disturb, injure or kill marine mammals. And look, the fallout continues from this. We'll have more from my colleague Jordan Oppett and the Sports Break.
So there you go. It's just a lot of hoo-ha. And as I said, I mean, Russell, I was working in talkback when Russell Coutts went off to left Team New Zealand, and I was never one of these people. I can see people in the chat right now calling him a traitor and stuff. That was never my vibe, because it's his job. He's entitled. And I remember people phoning me up doing talkback going, "Oh, so if the opposition, tried to poach you, would you?" And I'm like, well, if they were offering to pay me 4 times as much, yeah, of course, most people would. There isn't many people watching right now. If they got offered 4 times the salary, wouldn't go and work for whoever the opposing group are. So I wasn't such a big proponent of the traitor as is going on in the chat now, and certainly went on at the time. But this pearl clutching, this whinging and crying and just saying it's so terrible and threatening not to bring it back to New Zealand at all, ever. I mean, we're supposed to be this country who is ecologically friendly, and we look after our wildlife, and we look after our our native flora and fauna. And then when we do it, the wealthy rich pricks go, they'll get out of the way, won't they, Paul?
Yes. I'm just going to assume yes.